This forecast brought to you by Atlantic Cape Community College. There's still time to register with a variety of online and in-person classes starting in late October. Enroll today at atlantic.edu.
Well, I think saying that it's been an active day in the Weather Center is an understatement. It has been crazy. Up since 5 o'clock working on this storm. And look, unfortunately, it is going to bring some widespread flooding concerns our way. I'd say tonight we have around, tomorrow morning we have around, and then we find ourselves solidly within that moderate tidal flood stage going into tomorrow afternoon, Friday morning and Friday evening. We're going to break all that down in just a second, but let's talk about something not so ominous, right? Temperatures today on the cooler side. Some of you did not get to 60 degrees, falling shy in the upper 50s. Still currently 56 in New York, 62, a little bit warmer down in DC. Boy, oh boy, look at this cold front coming through. Bismarck at 36, Omaha at 64. Well, I guess Minneapolis would be a little bit better because it's the opposite there. 63 in Minneapolis, 22 in Billings. But look at that sharp gradient. That is why I love meteorology. It doesn't get much more fascinating than that. Dew points on the low side, upper 40s, still very comfortable. Look how dry this air is, just 2 measly degrees in Salt Lake City. As we zoom in to here at home, you're noticing that these temperatures are pretty much consistent. The dew points are very low, very comfortable out there. Zero issues whatsoever. On our Glad Insurance cam overlooking the White Horse Pike in Atlantic City, or in Absecon rather, going into Atlantic City, you see that it's cloudy and kind of misty out there, kind of ominous looking. Tomorrow at this time, we are definitely going to start to see some high water coming up on the roadway here, and I don't think you're going to be able to move the traffic through at such an ease. This will likely be closed as we're looking at moderate tidal flooding coming in. 60 our high temperature at the airport in Egg Harbor Township, 51 our dew point. Not a whole lot of rain. We picked up 0.06 of an inch. North-northeast winds at 10 miles an hour. For tonight, we'll get down into the upper 40s, cloudy skies, some passing showers. And as long as that area low pressure is sitting offshore, we are going to see a continued chance of showers moving down from the northeast, pivoting down to the southwest. Cloudy skies definitely locked in for the majority of tomorrow. If you're lucky, early on, you might see some breaks, maybe some pokes of sunshine. Whew, I don't want to get too excited there. Definitely heavy rain up to our northeast, but some of this is going to try to move back down into our region. But like I was saying, as long as that storm system is just sitting there, it is going to allow for very unsettled conditions because it doesn't have anywhere to go. We have a blocking high just up to the north, and it's preventing it from moving out. When that area high pressure breaks apart, the storm system will lift on out of here. But we're looking at occasional rain chances right through the day on your Friday, improving, I believe, by the weekend. Like I was saying, there's that blocking high to the north, our storm right here, and back towards the coast, you get those higher winds. Now, this isn't a tremendous wind maker. That's not the number one concern. Gusts to around 40 miles an hour are possible, generally in the 30 mile an hour range up and down the coast. Let's face it, we get that almost on the daily in the winter. So it's nothing new to us. It's the tidal flooding that is the big concern. 64 tomorrow, basically deja vu, mainly cloudy. Some pokes of sunshine possible early in the day. Otherwise, we're windy. We got those occasional showers. And winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles an hour on the mainland. Higher than that at the beaches. Obviously, closer to the storm, less resistance coming across the water as well. A lot of you have been texting me, messaging me. Some business owners, some emergency managers saying, hey, the tidal flooding isn't going to be that bad because the winds are out the north, right? Well, think about it this way. The winds are north here, but you go to where the actual storm system is, 150, 200 miles offshore, and those winds are still out of the east and the northeast. It's pushing all of that water back to the west. The wave action is extremely difficult to stop, especially when the winds aren't that strong over here. So I do think it's going to help a little bit, but it's not going to be the cure-all. You're trying to counteract a massive force of nature. Water is going to win out 99% of the time. As it's heavier, it's much harder to stop. So that is why I am going with the idea that we will see widespread moderate flooding, perhaps even a couple or a few cycles. We have a coastal flood advisory in effect for tonight for the minor tidal flooding occurring right now. And a coastal flood watch goes into effect for tomorrow. And I think that will be converted and upgraded to a warning by this time tomorrow night, as we will be dealing with the moderate flood stage. Atlantic City tide chart looks like this evening, tomorrow morning, minor tidal flooding. It's tomorrow late afternoon, early evening. It's Friday morning. It's Friday night that we're looking at the moderate flooding. Same story in Ocean City. And this is just a projection. This can change. It can come down, even though if you've been paying attention to these charts over the past couple days, that highest value has been creeping up. Now we're just within a few inches of major tidal flooding. I'm not saying we're going to get to major, but what I am saying is you should absolutely be as prepared as possible. Take the common sense measures to protect your property, all right? We'll hope that it's not as high as what we're projecting, but you gotta prepare for the worst case scenario. Again, I'm not saying the worst is gonna happen. This is nowhere near a Sandy or a Jonas, but there will be water in the streets, probably a couple feet of it. This is the Ocean City chart. As we look at Cape May, pretty much the same thing. Several tide cycles now projected to be just shy of major flood status, and then it's even a little bit higher up towards Barnegat and LBI. Very close to major. There will be widespread minor and moderate flooding starting tonight, with the worst of it peaking Thursday night and Friday morning, I believe. High tide's already up across the back bays at this point. We're dealing with minor tidal flooding. We're dealing with some road closures across the area. It's only going to get worse by this time tomorrow. Moderate flooding across the board, even in Fortescue. Now, like I was saying, the winds out of the north will help to a point. This is a look at our wave heights and the direction that the waves are traveling. Look at the arrows. It shows you coming from east to west, and they'll jog eventually to the northeast. This is going to fill the back bays. This is going to make it difficult for the back bays to completely drain out, so there will be leftover water, and each subsequent high tide is going to be a little bit higher than the previous. And that is what is going to get us to the moderate level. So the north wind here is not going to be able to counteract all of this. Waves are already building to 12, 13, 14 feet. I would not be surprised if we had some breakers that were around 14 feet tomorrow. 64 on your Friday, pretty much unchanged. We're cloudy. We still have that shower chance. It's by the weekend we start to climb out of this. Hopefully we can get that storm out of here. Partly sunny skies around 70 on Saturday and Sunday. Consistently comfortable into next week. Have yourselves a great night, and please don't hesitate to ask questions.